alaikum. My name is Binti Zulhayemey, and my matric number is E201910244434.
Hello, my name is Clane and Ontok, and my matrix number is E201910244444.
7 elements in a speech. First is this type of speech. Second is audience. Third is organization. Fourth is logistics. Fifth, the language. Sixth, credibility. And seventh, practice. We chose the speech that was made by Emma Watson for the UN Women's HeForShe campaign. Emma Watson is a British actress who got famous for her role as Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter film series. Recently, though, she has been known as an activist for women's rights and became the spokesperson for the UN Women campaign HeForShe.
Okay, so based on our observation, Emma Watson's speech is considered to be persuasive, but at the same time gives out an expressive vibe as well. From the first few lines of her speech, she mentioned the purpose, whereby she calls upon all men and boys to lend a helping hand in order to end the inequalities faced by the opposite gender. With her being the UN Women's Goodwill Ambassador, I think it is her job to spread awareness regarding this matter, and not only convince a specific gender, but everyone, to help fight for gender equality between men and women. In terms of expressive, we relate it to Emma's actions of relating her life experiences with the matter regarding inequality. Most of her experiences highlighted the inequality faced by women and girls. She also mentioned how men are victims as well due to them being stereotyped. To justify this statement, some men suffer from mental illness because they were unable to express what they were feeling, because they're afraid that they will be seen less a man in the eyes of society. Therefore, in our opinion, the speaker successfully expressed not only what worries her, but also what had been troubling both male and female in the sense of not being able to achieve freedom in whatever they do without getting criticized. In general, audiences act as a receiver who receives information from the speaker. Thus, audiences then process the information to turn them into a thought. From our observation, the speakers mentioned a few members of the floor, which consists of individuals with important roles within the event and United Nations, such as the moderator, UN Secretary General, the Executive Director of UN Women, the President of the General Assembly, and several other guests, as well as reporters and cameramen. As an ambassador and an actress, it is expected from us that the speech delivered by Emma Watson would turn out great, which it did. She included her salutations at the very beginning of her speech. This is to show respect to each and everyone present during the event. Moreover, she beautifully justified each and every point she pointed out throughout her speech. Among her points were feminism, inequalities between men and women, men being stereotyped, freedom for both genders, and support needed to end the unfair treatment of both men and women. Emma successfully elaborated each and every point that she pointed out. She concluded the speech with listing out unwanted possibilities prior of failing to achieve equality. Besides that, those who believe in equality were mentioned by her to be one of the feminists she mentioned earlier in the speech. Lastly, she invited everyone to have this sense of responsibility in restoring the equality among both genders. While a speaker is delivering his or her speech, logistics are the physical setting of where it is held, and the equipments are the objects needed to successfully deliver the speech. In terms of physical settings, we made a research and came into conclusion that the speech took place in a conference hall at United Nations headquarters in New York, USA. The light setting was okay as it was not too bright and not too dark. Besides that, a podium was provided alongside microphones so that the speaker could effectively deliver her speech. The seating arrangement were well organized and each and every panel was provided with a name tag, and besides that, some individuals can be seen standing, whereby we assume the event did not provide enough seats for these individuals. But at the same time, we also came into conclusion that these individuals could be bodyguards, reporters, and even cameramen. Next, as for the temperature, since this is held in a conference hall, logically the temperature should be well regulated for speeches that consumes time. To justify the statement, no one seemed to be seen uncomfortable throughout the speech. Meanwhile, in terms of equipments, a slide is present before the audience. Therefore, a projector and a laptop is highly to be present as well. Then, Emma Watson was seen bringing with her pieces of papers, which seemed to be her script, yet she managed to deliver her speech without referring to the script at all. Therefore, we assume that she was well prepared and she effectively delivered her speech with full of passion and sincerity to the audience present at that moment.
According to our analysis, the language that Emma Watson had used in her speech was semi-formal. The choice of her words is related to the context and the topic of the speech. Emma had included all gender and all ages, and also the UN. Some of the words that she had used is emphatic, such as galvanized, and some words are casual, such as mustly. Emma had used different sentence structures throughout her speech. She starts with point sentences, which is she gets right straight to the point, and also whenever she wants to argue, she'll use more of a long sentence, which she supports for her argument. For her tone, she had used a serious tone throughout her speech, along with a hint of sadness and disappointment due to the gender inequality, and she ends it with an encouraging note, saying that she hoped that gender equality will be better for everyone. Emma did not use much body language during her speech. However, she had used much more eye contact to interact with her audience. Emma had used her own experience throughout her adolescent years as a part of the speech, along with referencing Hillary Clinton's women's rights speech when Hillary Clinton was in Beijing. The speaker's attention was to clarify the difference of feminism and gender equality. Emma had aimed at the boys and men to advocate women's rights, and she wants to raise the awareness of the negative consequences of gender inequality. She had used an example of the pay rate, the difference of the pay rate of men and women. for the gender inequality. She wants to inspire the audiences to take action and promote gender equality in the UN campaign. Emma Watson had shown great knowledge regarding the topic of her speech. She was able to keep her audiences interested with the interesting choice of words that she had used, and they even gave her a standing ovation at the end of her speech. Her accent was quite thick, which made some of her words quite difficult to understand. And it was known that she had used the 3 forms of appeal, which is ethos, pathos, and logos. She was able to draw logical conclusions, and she was able to make the audience believe that we are capable of changing gender inequality. And one of the reasons the audiences were engaged in his speech was also because of her three signs of appeal. And on top of that, Emma Watson was known to be a feminist in a young age, and due to the things that she has experienced. However, she also talked about how men is also not only the predator but the victim, as they were stereotyped and they couldn't express their feelings, which was called unmanly. Emma had also used ways to talk about her gender equality and how everyone in the society is feeling gender inequality.